Okay, so synthesizers. Right, we've got several to choose from. Subtractor, Thor, and the Molstrom. We'll start with Thor. So we're going to drag him in. And what do we get here? Well, we get a fairly complicated looking machine if we click on this button, which is show the planner. This is the machine in its entirety. But that takes up a lot of space, and we don't need to see that just for the time being. But it's worth knowing that that's there if you want to tweak it. So let's have a look. We've got the same scenario here where we're going to be looking at our internal sounds that are just straight off the cuff. Somebody's programmed them, and all we got to do is play them. So let's have a little look at some sounds. So I can just, again, like the drum machine, if I click on one and then push something on my keyboard, I can hear the sound. He says. And there's some pretty cool sounds already. So I'm gonna mess with. Okay, let's try that one out. So what's gonna happen now? Well, I got my loop, and I want to start working inside that loop. Now, I don't really want to be playing for this long, just for the minute, so I'm going to bring my loop back and work in a little smaller space for the time being, just to start building the idea of the tune. So let me get my beat playing. Hearing your beat is going to help you play your tune. Alright, and I'm just going to jam something out. So I'm going to hit the record button, and I'm going to see the record start to happen, and I'm going to play my tune inside this area. Right, so I've stopped pushing record. Now, what I did was I recorded my tune. I only played when I was working inside that space. So as my tune looped back, I started playing, and as I knew it was coming to the end of the loop and it would loop again and I'd start recording over what I'd just recorded, I stopped playing. So that means that I've just created a nice little loop of that tune. So and already it's by adding the synthesizer, we're suddenly starting to make something. We got a tune on the go. So we've got a kind of little basic rhythm pattern going. I can then hold control down and drag that out, use that a little bit later, but I'm going to keep working inside this loop for the time being. It's the easiest way to work. Build up the loops, spread the stuff out, and then start deleting back through it. So I've kind of got a bottom end sort of sound, a bassy sound at the bottom. So now I want to sort of find something to go in the middle of the tune. So I'm going to drag another 4 in. I'm going to push play so I can hear my tune, and I can just listen to some sounds over the top of it and see how we get on. And all I'm doing is pushing randomly on the keyboard just to try some stuff out. Alright, I'm going to try with something like that. I'm going to hit my record, wait for that loop to come round, start playing. Okay, so I'm now going to drag those ones out, and that'll do for my little synthesizer parts for the time being. So I'm going to want my tune to slightly start to build up and to crescendo, which means like build up to a big pumping end, hopefully. So I'm only going to make a little short tune. I'm not going to try and make anything too long because we would be there all day. So we're going to make something really small just to work inside this little area. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete that one straight away because I don't want that right in at the beginning. I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to take that one out, and then I'm going to know that it's going to start with my little bassliney bit, then it's going to start with that cymbals, and I'm going to take that one out as well. Right, here we go. So there we go. That's quite a nice little thing for the time being. So at this point here in the song, I want that little bit of cymbal just to drop out to enhance that beat coming in. So up here I've got the bar, and this is called snapping, but it's how you can cut the bars up. So for example, if I go to half a bar, this is a little bar, this is a little bar, this is a big bar, but if I click on it, I see two arrows, and I can now drag that and it'll click to a half, and it'll move in halves. So I'm going to click one half back, and then I'm going to just get to this point and listen to it. So there we go, that's just added a little bit of an accent to that beat kicking in. So at this point I'm going to push save, because I've done a little bit, I don't want to lose it. If we crash, Rich 1, there we go, saved. Right, so at the next point we're going to move on to adding some effects to this stuff to see if we can start to put a little bit more meat on the bones. Adding effects will bring out the tune a little bit more, make it a little bit more pumping, a little bit more exciting.